break on the HAN network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including a man wanted for indecent exposure in Fairfield, several alleged gang members arrested in Bridgeport, and much more. Frank Nito will have a look at your forecast, and later on a Nutmeg Sports Update, and Donald Lang will join us later to take a look back on this day in history. But first, Fairfield police have released photos of a man they say has been involved in several indecent exposure incidents at Jennings Beach. Now, the incidents occurred on Tuesday, September 5th, and again on Saturday, September 23rd, each time between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Fairfield police are asking anyone who has information on the identity of the person to contact their detective bureau at 203-254-4835. They say all calls will remain confidential. And in other news, the Connecticut Post reports that on Monday night, a task force of Bridgeport and state police struck at the heart of the so-called East Side Gang, arresting 9 of its key members and seizing 4 guns, more than 100 rounds of ammunition, and heroin, crack, cocaine, ecstasy, and marijuana, which they say was bundled for sale. Now, during a 5-month investigation, police made dozens of undercover buys of heroin and crack cocaine from members of the East Side Gang, who have kept residents out of East Side and East End veritable prisoners in their homes through intimidation, robberies, and violence, including 2 homicides within the area of Newfield Avenue. Well, late Monday night, an army of local police, state police, and members of the Hamden Police Narcotics Unit struck a number of stash houses and gang hangouts in the East End. They arrested 9 gang members who were residents of Bridgeport, Stratford, Hamden, and Georgia on assorted drug charges. They were being held in lieu of bonds ranging from $25,000 to $300,000, pending arraignment this morning. And a man was struck by a pickup after he confronted a car burglar in Fairfield Monday afternoon. This happened around 4:40 p.m. A customer at Bed Bath & Beyond called 911 after finding a man lying in the parking lot of the store on Kings Highway, bleeding from his head and screaming for help. Now, police later learned that that man, who works at a nearby business, was walking to his car and found a person inside it. Once confronted, police said that suspect left the victim's car, got into a black Ford F-250 with New York license plates, and attempted to flee the scene. The victim grabbed the moving truck, was thrown to the ground, and struck by that vehicle. Patrols searched the area for the truck but could not find it. A witness reported seeing the truck heading east on Kings Highway East toward Grassmere Avenue. The man was taken to St. Vincent's Medical Center for what police called serious but non-life-threatening injuries to both of his lower legs. Police are asking anyone with information to contact them at 203-254-4808. And New Canaan police have charged Stamford resident Joao Oliveira, 23 years old, for the sale of cocaine and possession of marijuana late on Friday after police observed a car on Cherry Street in which the driver failed to lower his high beams for oncoming cars. Now, after police stopped that car, a computer check found that the license plates belonged to a 1997 Ford Mustang and not the Audi that Oliveira was sporting. Well, while speaking with Oliveira, police smelled marijuana in the vehicle, and a subsequent investigation found individually packaged small baggies of cocaine and a small amount of marijuana in the vehicle. Oliveira was taken into custody for sale of illegal drugs and possession of less than ½ an ounce of cannabis. The motor vehicle violations were cited in a separate misdemeanor summons. Oliveira posted a $5,000 bond and will appear in court on October 5th. And in other news, a runaway teenager sleeping in a Stamford dumpster was nearly crushed when a garbage company emptied the container early Tuesday morning. The Stamford Advocate spoke with Sergeant Robert Shawinski, who said that the 16-year-old boy was lucky that the garbage truck driver heard his cries for help and stopped the compactor. The boy emerged from the hopper with some scrapes and bruises. Now, Shawinski said that city carting driver was emptying a dumpster on East Main Street around 3 a.m. Tuesday. The employees from City Carting Garbage Company explained that after they picked up the dumpster and dumped it into the truck and began compacting it, they heard someone screaming from inside the truck's hopper. Now, Shawinski said the boy told police he had gotten into an argument with his mother on Monday night when she asked him to clean up the dishes. He left and jumped into the dumpster to sleep. Well, the mother said she waited up for him, but she ended up falling asleep. She said her son has never run away before. And police arrested a Waterbury man when he entered the Shelton Police Department to reclaim a bag of his that contained a moderate amount of crack cocaine. This happened on Monday. Shelton police arrested 23-year-old Davey McMillan of Waterbury when he entered the police station to reclaim a bag that he said he had left behind at the scene that police had visited earlier that day. Well, earlier on September 25th, Shelton police units responded to an incident involving McMillan in Shelton. Hours after that incident took place, Shelton police were contacted and informed that McMillan had left a bag behind and the caller wanted to turn it over to police. The caller informed police that it appeared to contain some type of drugs inside it. Well, Shelton police responded and retrieved that bag, which officers confirmed contained crack cocaine. The bag and drugs were transported back to the Shelton Police Department, where McMillan later arrived to claim the bag, leading to his arrest. You can get more on that story at sheltonherald.com. And more than 150 people of all ages, religions, and backgrounds gathered inside the Wilton Hindu Mandir, also known as the Wilton Hindu Temple at 68 Westport Road Tuesday evening, to show their solidarity with the temple following a recent act of vandalism. Now on Monday, the temple's spiritual leader Swami Bhagopal discovered that a rock had been thrown into the window of a building on temple grounds, considered part of the temple's worship space. Well, Wilton Presbyterian Church Reverend Shannon White said she spoke to Bhagopal, who said to her that it was the third time something like this has happened in 6 months. The other 2 times were not reported to police. Now, during the Tuesday night service, Bhagopal thanked everyone for standing in solidarity and showing their support of the temple. He said what happened was very sad. He also said in part, even if you are strong, you still get scared. He said, we need all of your support, and tonight we have that. Others spoke and said there is no place for hate in the Wilton community, and they were happy to support the temple. There's a lot more on that story at wiltonbulletin.com. But let's switch gears now, throw it over to Frank Granito for a look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. As we are looking at another humid day around Fairfield County, temperature is going to reach up around 86 this afternoon. That number is going to feel more like 95. Mostly clear skies for the morning and then partly cloudy in the later part of the day, along with a light breeze between 10 to 13 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy skies overnight, mild conditions, and a low of 65. Partly sunny out tomorrow and very breezy. Wind gusts up around 25 miles per hour. Should break this little heat wave we're riding through. Much more comfortable out. Temperatures in the mid to high 70s and very little humidity compared to the first half of the week. Clear skies and chilly tomorrow night. Temperatures fall all the way down into the mid 40s. And then Friday, mostly sunny. Should be our first taste of the fall season. An expected high of only 68. A light breeze of around 10 miles per hour during the afternoon. Partly cloudy skies overnight, and we could see a couple scattered showers that will carry into Saturday. That's going to do it for this weather update. We go back over to Kate for now.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, we're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, Frank will have your Nutmeg Sports Update. Donald Lang will also join us to take a look back on this day in history, and there's more local news coming up after this.
At Pamby Motors, we're not worried about being the biggest dealership. We're focused on being the best. We're dedicated to giving you the best experience we can. The Pamby Motors team is here to help you choose the right Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram in a friendly, pressure-free environment. And right now, during the summer clearance event, you'll find some of our best prices too. Like this lease on a 2017 Ram Quad Cab Express for $149 a month. Visit Pamby Motors, Route 7 in Richfield, PambyZone.com.
CT City Lacrosse is dedicated to the growth of lacrosse for youth and high school players. Directed by Stanford High head coach Mike Nazaro, we help players reach full potential on and off the field. With an indoor facility in Stanford, we offer year-round training, camps, clinics, and private instruction. Visit ctcitylax.com for more.
At Budget Blinds, we're in business to frame the light, the day, and the night. So we give you an exclusive combination of high style, expert service, our no surprises pricing, and our no questions asked warranty. We believe that everyone, at every budget, deserves style and service. Isn't that a beautiful place to be?
New Canaan Foreign Car. Yes, New Canaan Foreign Car has been servicing all makes of foreign cars for over 50 years. We also buy, sell, and consign cars too. We can help you with all your automotive needs from service to sales. Call us at 203-966-2681. New Canaan Foreign.
Welcome back to this September 27th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and it's time to throw it over to Donald Eng to take a look back on this day in history. Don.
Well, it was one of the most influential books ever written. First, though, we go all the way back to 1590 with the death of Pope Urban VII after a reign of, believe it or not, 12 days, the shortest in papal history. Now, he was a pope ahead of his time. During his very brief reign, he directed the Vatican to subsidize Rome's bakeries to allow bakers to sell bread to the poor below cost. He also funded a school for girls, banned nepotism in his court, and instituted the world's first smoking ban, threatening to excommunicate anyone who used tobacco in church. Not bad, considering the brevity of his reign. He died of malaria less than 2 weeks after his election. 1777, Lancaster, Pennsylvania becomes the capital of the United States, briefly. During the Second Continental Congress had fled Philadelphia to avoid the invading British forces. The day after stopping over in Lancaster, the delegates then moved further west to York, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, capital of the country for about a day. Now we go to 1954. The Tonight Show makes its debut on NBC with Steve Allen as host. The show introduced many modern late-night talk show staples, including the opening monologue and celebrity interviews and comedy.
Carson later remembered how the thought of a spring silent of birdsong had moved her to action.
It was your personal letter to me that started it all. In it, you told what had happened and begged me to find someone in Washington who could help. It was in the course of finding that someone that I realized I must write the book.
We have to remember that children born today are exposed to these chemicals from birth, perhaps even before birth. Now, what is going to happen to them in adult life as a result of that exposure? We simply don't know.
This is one of the nation's best sellers, first printed on September 27, 1962.
In her book Silent Spring went on sale, published on this day in 1962, inspiring an environmental movement and the creation of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Now, the book documented the effects of indiscriminate pesticide use and its potential environmental harm. Carson made the very modern argument in the book, by the way, that even if DDT and other pesticides were harmless to humans, their indiscriminate use would be counterproductive, since it would create pesticide-resistant insects that would then spread diseases like the Pope-killing malaria, and we would have no way to combat it. That is your look back in history for today, September 27th, and I'm Donald Eng.
All right, Don, I like how you brought that full circle. Nice there at the end. Yeah, good job.
That's exactly. Had the Pope listened to Rachel Carson, he might be alive today. Well, probably not.
Right. Thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, Ridgefield Public Schools have initiated a budget freeze to stop school spending. Superintendent Karen Baldwin told the Board of Education at its meeting Monday that the freeze was caused by several unexplained costs, including special education settlements, late teacher hires, similar to last year, and that the unanticipated spending put the district's budget into a roughly $1 million deficit. Now, Baldwin said the freeze will affect controllable accounts, schools, curriculum, technology, building repairs, and cleaning supplies. Now, the superintendent said that the goal of the freeze is to recapture some $1.1 million from the frozen accounts, or about 60% of the remaining money budgeted for those expenses. You can get a lot more on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. All right, we're going to throw it back over to Frank Granito now for a Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. As we look at some of the FCIAC action from Tuesday around the conference, and first up in girls soccer, the Norwalk Bears, a 4-1 win over the Bridgeport Central Hilltoppers. Madison Suda had 2 goals for the Bears to lead the way offensively. Ryan Camiglio with 2 assists on the back end. Sabrina Bayonne had 4 saves to lead the way. Staples topped Greenwich 4-1 in a meeting of the 2 rivals. Marla Vander A and Reese Sutter both scoring twice for the Wreckers. You also had Trumbull topping New Canaan 1-0. Darien shutting out Stanford 8-0. West Hill over Trinity in a city matchup, 4-1 in favor of the Vikings. And also looking at field hockey, Staples rolling as well there, 7-1, they beat Trumbull. 4-0, Wilton blanks Ward. 8-0, Norwalk tops Bryan McMahon in another city matchup. And that's going to do it for Tuesday's action, but make sure you're back with us this afternoon. We've got boys soccer on the HAN network. The Danbury Hatters traveling to Bryan McMahon to take on the Senators. That game is set to start at 6:30 this afternoon. We'll have a full preview at 2 o'clock on Nutmeg Sports with myself and Kevin Coleman. That's going to do it for this Nutmeg Sports update. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, the Darien Board of Education unanimously approved a new policy on Tuesday night, which will make the log for the Freedom of Information Act requests available to the general public. Anyone can now request to see that log, and the district administration will respond, but the log itself will not simply be posted on the district website. Now, previously, the FOI log was actually subject to an FOI request, but this policy simplifies that process, saving the district administrator some time and money. Well, the log will be available as of the policy going into effect, but information in the log prior to the policy enactment will still require an FOI request. Now, the log will include the name and address of the requester, the affiliate organization if applicable, the date of the FOI request, as well as a description of the request, the number of pages reviewed to fill the request, and the date on which it was closed. Now, further, the request log will be reviewed by the Board of Education once a year. There is a lot more on that policy at DarienTimes.com. And the Trumbull Police Department, in cooperation with the Center for Family Justice and the Westfield Trumbull Shopping Mall, will hold its second annual Shop a Mile in Her Shoes event this Saturday, September 30th, the eve of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Now, sponsored by the Trumbull Rotary Club, Shop a Mile was launched back in 2016 by Trumbull Police Chief Michael Lombardo as a way to highlight the important work that the Center for Family Justice is doing locally to break the cycles of domestic violence, sexual violence, and child abuse. Now, by staging an awareness event at the busy shopping mall, the chief hoped to draw attention to the programs and the services available to victims. Now, as part of the Shop a Mile event, shoppers will receive tote bags packed with special shopping discounts, as well as information on the free and confidential services at the Center for Family Justice that it provides to victims in the communities of Trumbull, Bridgeport, Easton, Fairfield, Monroe, and Stratford. You can get more details on that event at TrumbullTimes.com. We're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following on your coffee break after this.
Want a new experience in car buying? No aggravation, no confrontation, just answers to all your questions. SCAP Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Car buying the way you want it to be. With one of the largest selections of new 2- and 4-door Jeep Wranglers available, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Located in Fairfield, Connecticut, we're easy to get to. Just 2.5 miles off the Merritt Parkway, exit 44 via Route 58 South. Save thousands right now during the Jeep Celebration event and Ram Power Days. Now through September 30th.
We know it's your busy season, and that's why Walter Stewart's Market is here to make things easy by offering the best of autumn under one roof. Walter Stewart's Market is your local one-stop fall shop. There are so many seasonal flavors to savor, and Stewart's has them all, from Blue Jay Orchard's local cider donuts to Vermont Farmstead cheddar and all of your favorite varieties of local apples and pears. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and find us at stewartsmarket.com. Weed and Duryea, New Canaan's home center and full-service lumberyard. Everything for your home and improvement projects. We also carry seasonal items, barbecue grills, housewares, newest LED light bulbs, doors, windows, and much more. Weed and Duryea, 21 Grove Street, New Canaan, a division of Northeast Building Supply.
At Black Horse Garage, we fulfill all your sports car needs. We specialize in manufacturer-recommended service and aftermarket high-performance parts and installation. We have one of the nation's top storage facilities and offer a high-end collision department that understands your need for detail. Visit blackhorsegarage.com for more.
Want a new experience in car buying? SCAP Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. With one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now during the Jeep Celebration event and Ram Power Days. Now through September 30th.
This this Wednesday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today. Fairfield police have released photos of a man they say has been involved in several indecent exposure incidents at Jennings Beach. Now, the incidents occurred on Tuesday, September 5th, and again on Saturday, September 23rd, each time between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Fairfield police are asking anyone who has information on the identity of the person to contact their detective bureau at 203-254-4835. They say all calls will remain confidential. And in other news, the Connecticut Post reports that on Monday night, a task force of Bridgeport and state police struck at the heart of the so-called East Side Gang, arresting 9 of its key members and seizing 4 guns, more than 100 rounds of ammunition, as well as heroin, crack, cocaine, ecstasy, and marijuana bundled for sale. Now, during a 5-month investigation, police made dozens of undercover buys of heroin and crack cocaine from members of the gang who have kept residents of the East Side and East End veritable prisoners in their homes through intimidation, robberies, and violence, including 2 homicides within the area of Newfield Avenue. Well, late Monday night, an army of local police, state police, and members of the Hamden Police Narcotics Unit struck at a number of stash houses and gang hangouts in the East End. They arrested 9 gang members, residents of Bridgeport, Stratford, Hamden, and Georgia, on assorted drug charges. They were being held in lieu of bonds ranging from $25,000 to $300,000, pending arraignment this morning. And a man was struck by a pickup truck after he confronted a car burglar in Fairfield Monday afternoon. This happened around 4:40 p.m. A customer at Bed Bath & Beyond called 911 after finding a man lying in the parking lot of the store on Kings Highway, bleeding from his head and screaming for help. Police learned that the man, who works at a nearby business, was walking to his car after his workday and found a person inside it. Well, once confronted, police said that suspect left the victim's car, got into a black Ford F-250 with New York license plates, and attempted to flee the scene. The victim grabbed the moving truck, was thrown to the ground, and struck by that vehicle. Patrols searched the area for the truck but could not find it. A witness reported seeing it heading east on Kings Highway East toward Grassmere Avenue. Well, the man was taken to St. Vincent's Medical Center for what police called serious but non-life-threatening injuries to both lower legs. They're asking anyone with information regarding the vehicle or the suspect to contact them at 203-254-4808. And New Canaan police charged Stamford resident Joao Oliveira, 23 years old, for the sale of cocaine and possession of marijuana late on Friday after police observed the car he was driving on Cherry Street failing to lower its high beams for oncoming cars. Now, after police stopped the vehicle, a computer check found that the license plates belonged to a 1997 Ford Mustang and not the 2002 Audi that Oliveira was sporting. Well, while speaking with Oliveira, police smelled marijuana emanating from the car, and a subsequent investigation found some individually packaged small baggies of cocaine as well as a small amount of marijuana in the vehicle. Oliveira was taken into custody for sale of illegal drugs and possession of less than ½ an ounce of cannabis. The motor vehicle violations were cited in a separate misdemeanor summons. He posted a $5,000 bond and will be back in court on October 5th. And a runaway teenager sleeping in a Stamford dumpster was nearly crushed when a garbage company emptied the container Tuesday morning. The Stamford Advocate spoke with Police Sergeant Robert Shawinski, who said the 16-year-old boy was lucky the garbage truck driver heard his cries for help and stopped the compactor. The boy emerged from the hopper with some scrapes and bruises. Shawinski said that city carting driver was emptying a dumpster on East Main Street around 3 a.m. Tuesday. The employees from City Carting Garbage Company explained that after they picked up the dumpster and dumped it into the truck and began compacting it, they heard someone screaming from inside the hopper. Now, Shawinski said the boy told police he had gotten into an argument with his mother on Monday night when she asked him to clean up the dishes. He left and jumped into the dumpster to sleep. The mother said she waited up for him, but she fell asleep. She said her son has never run away before. All right, let's take one final look at the forecast with Frank. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. And again, a humid one out today. Temperatures right around 86 for this afternoon. It's going to feel more like 95 with humidity levels up around 65, 70%. Mostly clear skies through the morning are going to turn into partly cloudy for the later parts of the day. See a light breeze around 10 to 13 miles per hour before mostly cloudy skies overnight. Mild conditions and a low of 65. Partly sunny out tomorrow and very breezy. Wind gusts up around 20 to 25 miles per hour. It'll be much more comfortable out as humidity levels are far lower than the first half of the week. Clear skies tomorrow night, and it'll be chilly as temperatures fall all the way down into the mid-40s. And then Friday, going to get our first taste of the fall season. Mostly sunny out, a nice breeze around 10 miles per hour, an expected high of only 68 degrees during the afternoon. It'll be partly cloudy overnight, and we could see a couple of scattered showers that might carry into Saturday morning. That's going to do it for this weather update. I'm back at 2 o'clock with Kevin Coleman. We've got Nutmeg Sports getting you ready for boys soccer this evening on the HAN Network. Dan Barry at Brian McMahon. Kate?
All right, thanks so much, Frank. And of course, coming up at 12:30, CT Polls. I'm joined by John Kovacs. Check that out live in studio. And we'll see you tomorrow for your coffee break at 11. Have a great day.